Hello everyone and welcome to Blogger and Everything, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome to another video where we're going to just take a quick look at FC Barcelona's final match of the season, which they closed out against Celta de Vigo. That match of course ended 2-1 in favor of Celta. Of course, Celta beating Barcelona at Balaidos. Something which personally I kind of expected. Ter Stegen went into this game chasing that record for the most clean sheets. Unfortunately for him, it wasn't meant to be, just generally speaking, that's how it goes for Ter Stegen at Balaidos. And he himself did look off color, to be quite honest. He had this fumble which did lead to a goal that was disallowed, but aside from that, he didn't look himself. He didn't look comfortable. He never looks comfortable in Balaidos. It's probably one of the grounds in which he has his worst performances. And just generally, this Barcelona team, whenever they go to an away venue that has a hostile environment and has an opponent that's more than ready to just play direct and hit them on the brick, it doesn't really go so well, especially when Marcos Alonso and Sergio Roberto are in and around that back four. Yeah, there was a lot of rotation here from Xavi. It was hard to really tell how seriously this match was being taken by Xavi Hernandez looking at his selection, though I would just, from a professionalism point of view, I'd say, okay, let's just assume he was taking this seriously. And that being the case, there was, I would say here, maybe a good outing for the likes of Frank Kessie. He did look pretty good, should have scored, somehow he didn't. Of course, one was ruled out rightfully for offside. The other one, although to be quite honest, now that I think about it, I never really got the reverse angle for that offside. Like, we didn't see that freeze frame, So it could have been one of those where, they just did Celta a favor. That kind of stuff happens in La Liga. Anywho, the goals on the day were scored by Gabri Vega and Ansu Fati. Ansu Fati, of course, Balaidos is just one of those grounds that he loves to score at, okay? Ansu Fati loves to score at Balaidos. He loves to score at the Benito Villamarin as well. Benito Villamarin. Against Real Betis. That's Betis and Celta de Vigo. These are the two teams that Ansu Fati likes to score against, as well as Villarreal, actually. You shouldn't forget them. Villarreal, Betis, Celta de Vigo. You can expect Ansu Fati to score against these guys, and that's exactly what he did here, coming off the bench, and he needed to do that to bring some life into the scoreline as well for Barcelona, because Celta de Vigo really did handle this as well as you probably could have when you're trying to, you're playing for your lives in La Liga. And once again, I'll just remind you all how I said a few weeks ago that I'm very, very grateful that Barcelona's La Liga title race didn't go down to the last game of the season, that Barcelona didn't go to Balaidos having to win to secure La Liga, because we would have not won La Liga, guys. Balaidos is just not one of those venues for us, especially knowing how Celta de Vigo's season had gone and how they were, of course, going to be in desperate need of a win tonight. Anywho, the performance, it's really hard to, say much that we didn't already know. I think that the Valladolid's performance was probably more telling for Barcelona than this one. And I say that because in that game, it really was obvious who the players that need to go are. And I think I kind of, I named them, okay? I named and shamed, and I'll probably do it all over again. Though the one thing which I would say maybe is the takeaway for me from this Celta game is that I think that Laporta, through Xavi, is really now just trying to push Ansu Fati out the door. Kind of like we saw him do with Frenkie de Jong over the summer window, the one this transfer window just came from, where Laporta was really pushing for Frenkie de Jong to wind up in Manchester. Now it looks like the destination might be Wolves, and I don't even know why you do that to someone like Ansu, especially the talent that this guy has. He should be playing for at least a Champions League team. Don't be trying to pawn him off to Wolves just to please Jorge Mendes, who is his agent, as well as, the part owner of Wolverhampton Wanderers. And in fact, we need to have a conversation about Ansu Fati, about Jorge Mendes, and, the influence that he's starting to have over FC Barcelona, which for me is not good, especially considering the financial situation that we're in. You do not want to be letting people like Jorge Mendes sink their teeth, get their roots sunk deep into FC Barcelona and especially into La Masia, because it really just goes against some of the founding principles of something like La Masia, some of the founding principles that FC Barcelona espouse on their website. But anywho, that's a conversation for another day. Like I say, if that sounds like something you'd be interested in listening to, then go ahead, hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed, and also hit like on this video so I know that you do actually want to hear more about that. That'll be a way to give feedback, since most of you just don't have the energy to be typing comments. It hurts when I don't get comments, which is like most every video now. Anywho, moving on from that, Celta de Vigo, of course, secured their survival in La Liga, meaning that Valladolid went down. Valladolid, of course, going down with 40 points, which is like crazy to think that it's even possible. The relegation battle was really that epic in La Liga this season. But anywho, apart from all of that, it's really a wrap for this season. And as far as match reviews are concerned, I thank you all for everyone who's tuned in. I don't really know if I missed any match reviews this season. I think I might have managed to do every La Liga match, just doing a review for it. I don't know. I have to double check. But if I did actually manage to do that, that's pretty awesome. And I did it because of your support. And I thank you for that support. And I hope to get more of it. And you're going to get more of me talking as well. This coming week, there's going to be a podcast episode where, going to look at the season, giving my season review, my thoughts on this season, who our best players were, best signings, blah, 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 that kind of stuff. We're going to talk about Barça Femeni, because Barça Femeni won the Champions League. They won it just about the same time that Manchester City were winning their FA Cup title. So I know most of you probably maybe didn't watch that match. It was an epic match, trust me, okay? One of the best finals I have seen this year. Maybe only second to that World Cup final that we saw with France and with Argentina. Okay, and I'm probably only saying this because Barca won. Maybe Wolfsburg's fans don't think that. But, whatever the case. I'm going to be talking about that match as well. And just, generally giving some of my thoughts about the stadium project as well. Because, I don't know, guys. I just got an iffy feeling about it. And, I'll talk all of that there. And some of the things which I probably don't like so much right now that Laporte is doing. Yeah, all of those economic viability, blah, blah, blahs. I'm going to talk about those at another time because, honestly speaking, I don't have time for news that just keeps on repeating itself and recycling. Anywho, that is basically that for me, guys. I thank you for tuning in. To have a great day, and Forza Barça.